Heidi ho, my Power Ranger fans, my Renegade fans, my Renegade family. Welcome to Morphinominal Monday. I'm your host, Daddy Louie. I don't know why I have this like dark, ominous voice going on. I don't really know, but welcome to this Monday edition of Morphinominal Monday. I guess it's always Monday on Morphinominal Monday. This Monday edition of me streaming to you. That's what we're going to say. I'm Daddy Louie. If you don't know me, which hopefully everybody does. Hopefully you've been here before. If not, welcome. And if you haven't been here before, also welcome. Welcome no matter how many times you've been here. I'm rambling. Today we are painting the mighty Finster. My stream deck is not working, and I don't know why. That's interesting. Hopefully everybody can hear me. Last week there was an issue where no one could hear me. Hopefully people can hear me. No one said anything in the chat yet, so I'm assuming everybody can hear me. I got the music working this week, so that's nice. Last week I wasn't playing any music. This week I am, and hopefully there's no more issues with that. If the music is too loud, not loud enough, let me know. I just have it on random right now, so it's going to play a bunch of different stuff. A minute ago, it was playing, like, some 8-bit retro-style music, and now it's playing this sweet Viking guitar riff, which is awesome. Yeah, so let's go down to the table. I gotta use my my mouse to control the stream instead of my stream deck, because for some reason it's not working, and I don't know why. And, oh, my camera's paused. That's interesting. Let's see why that is. Let's change my camera. That's my side camera, hello. And then let's change it back to... There we go. And we'll close. There we are. All right, I don't know what that was. It just froze. So here is Finster. He is one of the original releases from when the game first came out. And as you can see, I have not painted him yet. I'm pretty excited to paint him. I was actually really surprised that he won the poll that I posted everywhere. I was honestly expecting Ranger Slayer to win because it is the more complicated miniature, but I guess people wanted to see Finster, and I'm good with that. So I do have a reference photo. He's not super complicated. Most of his outfit is white, like on the back. All of this is like a white overcoat, I guess. And then he's got this apron thing in the front. And then he's got like some, looks like blackish boots. I might do Dark Reaper for those. What's interesting about Finster is he's got this epic beard, right? So his skin color is actually like a dark eggshell, whereas his beard is nice and white. So we're going to have to differentiate the skin from the rest of his face, if that makes sense. Hopefully. Somebody said, I wonder how hard it will be since he's smaller. Some of these details are quite tiny, so it's going to be interesting to do. But let's go ahead and get started. Enough chatting from Louie. I'm going to start with a contrast paint. I'm going to start with Apothecary White. This is going to be for the white part of his outfit. I do kind of want this on his beard also. However, I'm not really too sure how that's going to work. He's also got like silver shoulder pads, which is interesting. I wonder if I can get a good picture of his back. If anybody has a good picture of his back, send it to me. I'm going with some assumptions here, but so this is Apothecary White, and this is, like I said, for most of his outfit here. We're gonna put that all over, and we want it to be pretty thick. If it gets on stuff that we're going to change colors later, that's okay. This is very quickly becoming my favorite technique for painting white, because it gives it a nice shade. I always got the impression the white on his body isn't skin, but clothing. Yes, I agree with you. On his, like, his skin, which you really can only see on his hands and on his face, is like an eggshell color. So they are white. It's just not like a pure white, if that makes sense. It's like an alien. I'm going to use Rakarth flesh for that part. But his beard is definitely white. It's like super white compared to the rest of the body. But again, this Apothecary White just does such a good job giving us shade and stuff inside the white, if that makes sense. This is an awesome sculpt from Renegade. I mean, most of their sculpts are awesome, but I love... it will make it difficult to paint him because his arm is going across his body. So his overalls or his apron is covered up in some spots. So that will make that part challenging. I'm just soaking up some of the Apothecary White that's in too many places. Pooling in too many places, sorry. Okay. This is just a really quick way of doing large areas of white. I like it. I like doing it that way. Like I said, I may want to put this on his beard, but maybe not. Maybe because I want there to be distinction between his clothes, his beard, his skin. Maybe I won't end up putting that on his beard. We'll see. But that's really all I needed to do for that part of his outfit there. It's hard to tell right now on camera, but when that dries, it'll dry really nicely. So like I said, I'm going to, for his face, I want it to be considerably different than everything else. I'm going to try this Rakarth flesh. It's kind of like a darker eggshell. We'll see how it looks. I don't know. I haven't used it in a while, so how it goes onto the miniature is kind of... I'm having a hard time thinking of how it looks until I actually get it on the mini. I bought this phone holder for my phone, and then I realized that I didn't put my phone on it. That's so that I can, if somebody messages me, I can see it pop up. It's like this little, I got it at Dave & Buster's for like 500 tickets. It's like this, it's a stress ball. And then it also holds my phone on my desk, see, like that. I don't know why I'm excited about that. I just am. It's fun. All right. Rakarth Flesh. Here we go. Which paintbrush do I want to use? Probably a small one, huh? Because his head. So I'm going to put some of this on my palette. I didn't really finish saying my hellos. Hello to everyone. I hope everyone is having a great Monday. Or should I say a more phenomenal Monday. And if you did not vote for Finster, I do apologize. he did win pretty handsomely. It was not super close. I put the poll on all my socials and all of Renegade's socials and combined all of the stats and stuff together. So you could vote multiple times. I let people vote multiple times. So if you don't follow my socials, make sure you go and do that. Lots of super exciting stuff coming to that. Last week I posted a little tip video on Tuesday. I'm going to start doing that. Tuesday tips related to painting. And I got another one lined up for tomorrow as well, so you don't want to miss that. You can find me on Facebook at It's So Tiny, all one word, and also on TikTok at It's So Tiny, and then on Instagram at The Real REAL Daddy Louie. Louie is LOUIE. So make sure that you go and follow my socials so that you can vote next time. And like I said, I'm going to do tips and giveaways, and I have a bunch of Power Rangers stuff that I'm going to be giving away or doing giveaways for. So you don't want to miss any of that good stuff. So I'm pretty happy so far with how that face is looking. He has a very strange head. Yesterday, I painted a miniature of my own choosing, not on stream, for the first time since probably last summer. And it was amazing. Just sitting alone with my music. Actually, I didn't even have music on. I was watching YouTube clips of The Office because I really love The Office. It's one of my go-to background noise shows where you just turn it on and just have it running in the background. And ever since they took it off of Netflix, I haven't been able to watch it because I don't have whatever that is, Paramount. Which, if anybody out there has Paramount that wants to let me use their login information, that'd be wonderful. But until that happens, I don't have Paramount, so all I can do is watch clips on YouTube. But yeah, I painted a miniature on my own. It wasn't Power Rangers, it wasn't G.I. Joe. It was just something I wanted to paint, and trying to record some promo videos and stuff for my upcoming live streams. And yeah, I was just feeling this one miniature, and I painted it, and I'm super happy with the way it turned out. It was a lot of fun. Just kind of reinforced for me how much I love painting, how therapeutic it could be. Now that the face is done, I want to probably move on to the apron now that that white is drying. And so the apron, I think I want to go with a Thunderhawk blue. It does have a little bit of a green tint to it. However, what's nice about Thunderhawk blue is it kind of gives a nice denim color. And the reference photo that I'm using is actually a toy, and his apron almost has that denim vibe to it color-wise. So that's what that's the effect I want to give. Alright. So I'm going to try Thunderhawk Blue. We'll see how it looks. There are some reference photos out there from the show that make it look almost green, his apron, but I really like the denim look, so that's what I'm going with. This is the color there, Thunderhawk blue. Ooh. And his apron is much different. Is a much different shade of blue than his headband. The headband we want to be a brighter blue. So when we get there, I want to be very careful on these outlines, since I've already put that apothecary white on the white stuff. And I don't care so much about his tools on his apron, getting them blue. I mean, I'm going to end up going over them anyway. The Thunderhawk blue is a layer paint. It's not a base paint, so we may need at least 2 coats on here in order to get the color that we want. But we'll worry about that once the first coat dries. I can already kind of tell just from looking at it that I'm going to need that second coat. This is where, again, if you were to have more time than I have to paint these miniatures, you may want to do a dark blue with a base color, so that way you don't have to do as many coats with the layer. But for timing, we just kind of skip that part. And like I said at the start of the video, there are lots of little details on this guy, which is really cool. You think, oh man, he's a super small mini, it'll take 2 seconds. But very similar to Alpha, if you want to put the time in to do all the details, because Alpha is a super small mini too. But again, the models are so well done by Renegade that you have all the little tools that you can add extra details to, and it's nice. Not a lot of back photos for Finster. The blue smock covers his back, though. Interesting. So it goes around the whole back? Looks like you sent me some pictures. Let me look. Oh, you're saying like the white. Yeah, I see that. Oh, the back. Like his upper back. Gotcha. But his pants are still white on the back. So this here is going to be all blue. That's what I'm thinking. Upper back, pants are white. Yep. Okay. So it wasn't necessary to put that apothecary white on the top part, but that's alright. We didn't know, and now we do. Dark Reaper is also a great color. I may end up doing his boots in Dark Reaper. I'm not sure. Some reference pictures show his boots to be like blue, like a dark blue. I mean, I could just do, you know, German gray. Call it a day. One thing I'm thinking about doing, or at least trying, when it comes to my streaming capabilities, is maybe using a gaming headset instead of this microphone. This microphone, the quality of the sound is amazing, but it's very restrictive to my movement when I'm painting. When I want to move closer to the miniature, I have to move the microphone. You know what I'm saying? But with something like a gaming headset, I have that freedom of movement, which is really nice. However, I don't know how to hook all of that up to where, like, I can hear myself, hear the music. I definitely need to be able to hear myself because I'm a naturally loud talker. And so if I have a headset on and I can't hear myself, I'm going to be ridiculously loud. I'll be like shouting into the microphone. Just for that freedom of movement, not because I'm having technical difficulties or anything like that. Yeah, I could just tape the whole thing to my head. That would be a great idea. Very solid suggestion. Very solid suggestion. I'm gonna get some more Thunderhawk blue on my palette. I'm gonna have to switch to a smaller brush probably here in a second. I could put it like further away, but I don't know how well you guys like. This is much further from my mouth. I don't know how well that sounds, but then I can get closer. I mean, you see the top of my hat on the thing, but you know, it's less about seeing me and more about seeing the miniature. And the closer I can get to the miniature, the better of a paint job I can do, if that makes sense. And that's just something I picked up yesterday when I was painting on my own. Was I was noticing my paint job was a little better than what I do on my streams, and it took me a few minutes to figure out what the difference was, and I was like, oh, it's because I'm literally able to pull the miniature up to my face to look at the details. And I can't do that when I'm on stream because I have to keep it by underneath the camera. But if I can move my face closer to the miniature, I can get I can give y'all a better product. So I'm going to try it. And if at any time you can't see the miniature or you can't hear me well, just yell at me in the comments, and I will go back to what I was doing before. I really like the way this color looks. Like I said, it really has that denim vibe, which is kind of what I'm going for. I almost want this to look as denim as possible. Okay, I do need to switch to a smaller brush in order to get that part in the in between his arms. Same color. In the reference photos, it looks like the the top of the overalls come to like below his collarbone, so you can see his white undershirt. However, that's really hard to see, so I don't know if I'll be able to. Let's just see what happens. Let's see what happens. He's got this chain on too, because he's got this red necklace around his chest. And I just got blue where I didn't want it. Great. It's all right. I make mistakes, you make mistakes, we all make mistakes. I will fix it in post, aka I will fix it later. I think Renegade took liberties on Finster like they did Goldar. Pretty certain he had poofy pant legs. Looks like Renegade made it look like a dress. Yeah, it does look more like a robe or something to that effect. Alright, I'm pretty happy with that blue for now. I will probably do some more to it. Actually, I want to do some more to it now. The other nice thing about doing a small miniature like this is I can take my time, be a little more detailed with it than I normally would a bigger miniature, because I have a little more time to work on it since there's less to paint, if that makes sense. Okay. Pretty happy with that for now. One thing I missed earlier is his hands. I want to paint his hands the same color as his skin on his face. So let me grab some of that paint and paint his hands. Again, some of the reference pictures make it look like he's got white hands. Some make it look like his hands have no gloves, so it's the same color as his skin, which is on his face. I'm going with the no gloves skin look. That's just a liberty that I'm taking there. you can do it any way you want. All right, so if you are just joining us, welcome. We are painting Finster from Heroes of the Grid. So far, we've used 3 colors. For his white robes, we did a contrast paint, Apothecary White. And then we used Thunderhawk Blue for his apron. And then for his skin, his face and hands, we have used this Rackhearth Flesh. It's a little darker than what I'm seeing of the model, but I'm okay with it. So now what I want to do is I want to look at my reference photos here. And I think I'm going German gray on his boots and his sleeves. I think that's what I'm going to end up doing. Because I got to fit German gray in there somewhere. Can't have a model without German gray. That's like sacrilege. So that's German gray from Vallejo. If you're new here, that is my favorite color in all of hobbying, miniatures, however you want to call it. I think my tip Tuesday for next week is going to be talking about German gray. Because it really is it is a tip, right? Like, not everybody out there will tell you that German gray is useful. I did get some on the white apron there, which is no bueno. I have to fix that later when I do some white highlights. Gosh, I'm getting it everywhere. Might need a smaller brush, that might be my problem. His hands are the same color as his face, but his hands are also partially stained orange from clay. Yeah, it just depends on the picture you look. So switching to a smaller brush so I can try and do this a little bit better. Yeah, pretty happy with that color. Daddy Louie, the German Gray Ranger, that's right. The cuffs around the sleeves are actually gold, so that's a fun little detail we'll get to do later. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way that looks. I just gotta fix the details that I've screwed up. Actually, that cuff might go all the way back. Does it go all the way back? No. It does. It goes all the way. Nah, that looks good. I'm good with that. Okay. Or does it go... Man, that's hard to see, that detail. I can't tell if this line is that sleeve. It seems small, huh? But then there's also this line here, which almost looks like that's the sleeve. I'll have to think on that and come back to it. I'm gonna fix this blue. Won't be able to fix that white till later, but I'm sure I'll remember because it's very noticeable. I have not read Finster's backstory. Tell me about it, if you want. Finster was always one of my favorite characters. Alright. What color blue do I want to do for the headband? I want it to be a bright blue. We're gonna go Calidor Sky. Actually, before I go with the headband, I'm gonna do Lead Belcher. And the reason that I'm doing Lead Belcher now is because I want to go ahead and do a wash in a second. And this is for his little shoulder pads. I probably should just do all the little tools and stuff now, too. Alright, let's see what tools he's got here. He has so many different ones. Alright, so it looks like in the show, most of his tools are silver with brown handles, which I think will look cool. I'm grabbing some more blue real quick because I actually want to make sure that the straps that are holding the tools to his apron are blue. and I didn't really do that before. I left them white because I was just like, oh, those are the tools. But the more that I look at the model, I'm like, oh no, those are the straps that hold the tools to it. So I'm just going to make sure the whole thing is nice and blue. And then it will be easy to pick out the tools. And then it's just a matter of figuring out which part of the tools are handles and which part of the tools are the pointy end. So while that dries, I'll go to the Calidor blue for the headband, and then I'll go back into the weapons really quick. Calidor is a nice bright blue, and I want there to be pretty good distinction between his headband and the blue that is on his apron thing. Okay. In the interest of not making a mistake, I'm going to bring the model super close to my face really quickly. Again, I'm talking you through what I'm doing. I am painting his headband. It's a pretty small detail, and it is surrounded on both sides by his skin, the skin on his head. So I don't want to get any of that blue on his skin, so I'm being careful and bringing the model close to my face. I apologize that it is not on camera. Just bear with me for a moment and I will show you what I did. This is where putting my microscope glasses, or whatever they're called, magnifying glasses, not microscope, would be helpful, because I did all of that, brought it close to my face to not screw up, and I got the blue on his ear anyway. See that? Man. Finster becomes fascinated with his clay sculptures coming to life and terrorizing people, much in the way a pyro does with fire. His wife finds out and begs him to stop. Enraged, Finster pushes her, and she falls, hitting her head and dying. Rita then finds Finster and takes him in. Afterwards, he keeps trying to bring her back to life by mixing the remains of her corpse into his magic clay. Every time she comes back, though, she pleads with him to change his ways. Finster then gets upset that she came back wrong, so he hacks her up with an axe to remake her again until she... Wow. That is pretty jacked up, not gonna lie. That's what I love about the comics, at least the ones that I've read, is that they take this concept of Power Rangers that we love and they just make it more adult, I guess. Darker. I gotta let that dry so that I can fix that ear. But that's the headband done. Now I'm going to grab some more of this silver, and I'm going to start painting some of these tools. This tool here looks like it's completely silver, so I'm going to paint it completely silver. Making sure that I don't get the straps, the blue straps. And this tool looks to be completely silver as well. I'm going to put some of this on my palette. This looks like it's just this part that's silver. And then it's got a silver handle. And the scissors. Or what I think are scissors, they might not be. So that handle's going to be brown, and the handle to this is going to be brown as well. Just got to pick out a good brown. And then the rolling pin, at least on the action figure, is silver. So I'm going to paint that silver as well. If you just wanted to do a wooden rolling pin, you could paint this whole thing brown. Or if you wanted to do something different, for simplicity purposes, I'm just going to paint mine silver. Again, the handles are brown. Okay. What color brown do I want to be? It's kind of a dark brown. Let's see. I could use German camo black brown, but that's like super dark. I don't know if I want it to be that dark. Yeah, let's just do it. We'll do the double German colors here. Vallejo's. Let me close this back up. Vallejo's German color black brown. Oh, maybe not. Oh, okay. The top was like off. The only thing I don't like about this color is that it tends to not mix very well for me. It's a nice dark chocolate color though. If you don't have... Oh, yeah, Mornfang Brown would be great, too. Honestly, that's probably what I should have used. I might use Mornfang Brown as a highlight color for that. I've also noticed that, like... Okay, so the reference photo that I'm using is an action figure. I think it's from the Lightning collection. And on the action figure, at least, he's got, like, these really cool earrings on his ears. And the model does not have those earrings at all. It's almost like they left them out intentionally, which is an interesting choice. Speaking of ear, I'm going to fix that blue now that it's dried. I tried doing it before it dried, and then it just ended up smearing and making a mess, so there we go. All fixed. Alright, so the last two little details that I want to do before I put a wash on this. First of which is the gems on his collars and on the front down here. They are red. Yeah, he has like these big ear, like they're very noticeable, and on the figure they're very noticeably missing. I mean, I guess at the bottom of his earlobes you could paint them gold, but there's nothing there, so it's like you're painting his ear. So I'm personally going to leave them off. But if that's something you wanted to do, you could totally do it. So I'm going to grab some red real quick. I'm just using what's on my palette. You can use any red you like. It's just a couple quick little blobs. Here. Here. This is just a red color that I was using yesterday on my other project that I was doing on my own. So just a couple dots, because his clasp's there. Oh, and he has this. This is going to be a super tough detail. He has that necklace, which again on the action figure is a red chain. Shoot. Wasn't as bad as I thought. As I jinx it and jack it up, watch. And then the last detail that I want to do, again, before I put that black wash on there, is his cuffs. Sent me some pictures on Facebook from the comic. Which comic series was this in? Just curious. Because I know they have like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Oh, I do like that color scheme. That black and white. Retributor armor for the cuffs around the sleeves. You don't need a lot. I'm gonna go ahead and put it on my palette. There was a time I was really into comics. It was a short stint, but I was like really, really into comics for like 6 months to a year. Going every week to the comic store and getting my subscriptions and everything. My problem was I got into too many too quickly, and it was really hard to keep up. The only time that I really read is if I'm working on an RPG project or at night to fall asleep, which makes comic books difficult because I read on my Kindle. So, yeah, I just don't have the time to really read comics, and it just got really tough. I'm pretty happy with the base coats of all of that. I realize that I have skipped his glasses. The model, the glasses are not very prominent. Almost looks like he doesn't have glasses. Because again, in this reference photo I'm looking at, let me try and look at a different one. Yeah, the glasses go up and over his ears, and on the model there is no line or anything that goes up and over the ears. So they almost look like they're down by his eyes, and that's it. You know what I mean? Like, almost like bimonocle. Like, I don't know what I'm saying. I mean, I could try and draw like a golden line to go from around his ear and down to here. I can see what that looks like. I guess it doesn't look too bad. Yeah, I guess that's not horrible. His glasses aren't really gold. They're more of like a bronze color. But I'm going to put a wash over that, so hopefully it'll darken it up. I guess that doesn't look terrible. Could be worse. But keep in mind there's no line there for the glasses. It's almost like Renegade had intention of them going under the ears, but in all the reference pictures, the glasses actually go like straight back and then up and around the top of his ears, just like I've painted here, like you see there. So I'm not going to bother putting the lines in the back because nobody's going to see it anyway. But that's pretty much the model done as far as base colors go. And now I'm going to grab my trusty friend Nuln Oil, and I'm going to put it on the whole model except for what we painted already for the white. And I'm not going to use my big huge wash brush. I'm going to use my medium detail brush. I have not washed these in so long. They're getting bad. This is my Raphael. I think this is a number 2. And the reason that I'm using this as opposed to the other thing is simply because I do not want to get this on that apothecary white. If I do, it's not the end of the world. It can be fixed, but that's just less time than I have to do other stuff. I really want this to go on the denim. So I'm focusing on that. Again, just being as unsloppy as I can. Which is tough for me because I tend to be very sloppy with, as you all know, because most of you watch me regularly, I tend to be very sloppy with my washes. But in this case, I do not want to be super sloppy. I do want to get this on his skin, though, his hands. I don't mind if it gets... I definitely want it to get in here, on his face and his beard. And keep in mind, I've done nothing to his beard yet. That's all primer, which is that wraith bone from Citadel. Any place that I see an open crevice where there's paint should have gone, but you know, it didn't flow well when I was painting, I'm making sure that gets in there too, like in here. This will look nice in his beard. Because Finster has a wicked awesome beard. Nice details in his face, on top of his head. So that's super, super cool for this type of washing. It's going to fill in all of those spots. You can do the boots too if you want to. I'm not going to, because it's kind of unnecessary. But if you want to put it on the boots, you can. Probably not going to do much highlighting on the boots, so like I said, it's really not super necessary. While this dries, we can start doing our magic to the white of the thing. I just want to make sure it got it everywhere. Suck up some of the, absorb some of the wash where it's pooling a lot along these tools, under the arms here, in here. Back behind the ears. Alright. Now we just let that dry. Was painting with my small brush for details and the brush came off. Yep, I've had that happen before. Lack of glasses could be for structural integrity. Same with earrings. At this scale, they may have been too fragile. Oh, yeah, that's probably true, especially with the earrings. I don't know if it really would have mattered on the glasses, but I could definitely see that for the earrings. I mean, these ears were, they were tough. I had to do some, I had to, kind of shape them a little bit when I was washing the model yesterday to get ready for the stream. So I definitely understand that. But while that's doing that thing, I'm going to start doing some, a little bit of highlighting on the white. Oh, shoot. That was bad. Did you see that? I just flung him off, almost off the table. So I got on my Althuan Gray, my go-to white that's not white. On this model, I will end up using actual white, though, for the first time in a long time, and that's going to be for the beard, because again, the beard on my reference pictures is definitely the whitest of all the colors, because we got some off-whites with the skin. Obviously, you have his robes, his undershirt and stuff, which is also white, and then you have his beard, and the beard is like really white, like crisp white, and I want the model to have that, so I am going to probably end up using actual white to do highlights on the beard. I probably want a smaller brush for this part. And this is just, with that Althuan gray, picking out details like the string tie back here on the back of this apron. I think I'm going to turn the Viking rock music back on. Right now I just have it on Surprise Me. Let's see. Should we do... I guess it's this one? If anybody ever gets annoyed by the music that I'm playing and they want me to switch it to something else, you are more than happy to... I am more than happy to take requests. Because I don't care what we listen to. I don't even know if you guys can hear it. I'm assuming you can. No one's really ever said anything about what music I listen to on stream, so... Got that black over here on this part, so I'm literally having to... Covering black with white is definitely not easy. Yeah, this music definitely has a much more Power Ranger feel to it. Alright, pretty happy with that. Everything else is starting to dry now, which is, again, nice about a small model, is you can get right into your details. So I'm going to go back to that Thunderhawk blue and try and just brighten up some of these details again that got muted with the wash. Dang, this track's going hard. I'm not being, like, super careful. I actually need some more Thunderhawk blue. Going through Thunderhawk blue like crazy today. You don't want to, you only want to pick out certain details. You don't want to redo the whole thing. If you wanted to go for a worn look to his apron where the tools are, as if it looks like he's taking them off, how would you go about doing that? So the first thing that I would do is probably not do as many highlights as I'm gonna do. Maybe, or once you're done highlighting, do a second wash, but do it in a brown instead of in a black wash. So do it with like Agrax Earthshade, just to give the apron a nice, dirty, worn look. And then around the spot where the tools would kind of go in and out, you'd want to probably use like a brighter highlight color. So start adding whites to your highlight color. Because usually when something that is color, like a dark color, gets worn, it ends up getting light in the spots that are worn, if that makes sense. So like if you have blue jeans, for example, right? The more that a blue jean becomes worn, the lighter the color gets. So in those same areas where those tools are coming in and out of, it's going to look more worn there. So you're going to want to put brighter highlights in those areas. Hopefully that makes sense. For the most part, I actually like the way the tools look. I'm probably not going to do any highlights to the metal. I might use that Mornfang brown on the handles of stuff to brighten it up. Same thing with the shoulder pads. I don't want to use anything on the shoulder pads. Mornfang is significantly brighter than that other stuff, so I don't want to do too heavy on it. Alright, now this song is scaring me. I like... It's too much. Let's go with some happy EDM. Let's be happy. Happy little miniatures. Happy little miniatures. Okay. I do want to do more highlighting on... Let's see, what color would look good? Not that. That's too blue. That would be for like that. Looking at my colors here to see what would highlight this blue well. Maybe I'd just add some white to the Thunderhawk. I just need like a little bit more with them highlights. You do not have the hair to be Bob Ross. Nor would I want to be Bob Ross. There is only one Bob Ross, and he is not me. Alright, so I'm just adding a little bit of Althuan Gray to my Thunderhawk Blue, which is actually working out quite nicely. And I'm just going to do some... Yeah, I read something somewhere that said, or maybe I saw it on a documentary or something that said that in the end, it ended up getting written into his contract that he wasn't allowed to cut his hair because it had become part of, like you said, kind of like his persona. That's my issue too. Like it's just part of who I am now. And I can't grow it, so it doesn't matter. Okay. I gotta start working on his face. I really wanted to do some more highlights, like to this German gray here, but that's gonna have to wait. Grabbing some more of this Rockhearth Flush. What if I move this way a little bit? Right now I'm just trying to pick out the details of the of like the folds in his skin and stuff. Without getting any paint in the little lines in between. I'm just being very careful. I got pretty shaky hands though, so this part is challenging. If you're very gentle, you can get them details without having to worry too much. I'm pretty happy with his skin at the moment. We need to do his eyes. You look and see what kind of... I think he has, like, humanoid eyes. Let me see. I guess they're not humanoid, huh? They're green? See, that's weird. Like, the one thing I'm looking at, they're green. But then on the toy, they're, like, straight up, like, white, you know, pupils with black retinas. I don't like the green eyes. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments what you think. I'm going to start working on this beard. I'm using white Scar. You could use any white color you have. They're all the same. Personally, I like using Vallejo white or white Scar, I guess. I don't really like using any of them, but in this case, I want to, so... Thought the eyes were light blue. Alright, so now I want to highlight his headband. I think we're going to go... I'm going to go with Techless Blue here. Probably should have highlighted, in hindsight, I should have highlighted the headband first. Before the skin. Because now this puts pressure on me to not jack up the skin while doing the headband. Techless Blue is a very nice color. I don't need a lot of it. And if you don't have Techless Blue, you could just add a little bit of white to your Calidor Sky, and that would do the trick too. I'm actually going to take him off the paint stand for just a second here so that I can get more control. It's doing absolutely nothing. I don't even know if I had enough paint on my paintbrush. Not super happy with how that looks, but it'll have to do for now. It's good enough. Good enough for government work. It looks all right. All right. So I think the only thing we have left, other than the base, of course, is his eyes. I'm not sure. Gosh, why am I dropping him? Poor Finster. I don't know what color we should do the base. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. Let's see. Okay. Phone. Picture of the eyes. They're like a hazy greenish blue. Let's see what I got. Maybe a scale 75. This might be too bright. I don't really have a good color for this, if I'm being honest. I mean, I have like a wolf gray, which is like a light blue gray, but they look more green to me. I feel like I want to put some green in there. Let's try this. Yeah, I was giving the headband light blue stripes. It didn't really turn out very well, but... so this is Caribbean Blue from scale 75. I don't know how well this is going to work, so bear with me a moment. It actually, on the palette, looks great. Get the microphone away from my face so that I can get down on this miniature here. Well, what I ended up doing was using that Caribbean blue um, for the uh, for the eyes, and then I don't know if you can see it, but for the pupils, what I did was just add a smidge of German gray to the Caribbean blue to make it just a hair darker, so that I could then do the eyeballs, and they turned out pretty good. That's kind of the look I was looking for. Looks accurate to me, anyway. I'm gonna add like 1 or 2 quick stripes to the head. What do you guys think about a base color? Anything specific that you think I should go with? I mean, I could just do a traditional black and call it a day. Orange clay color. I like that idea. Let's see. Let's see if I got any orange clay colors. There was like a good way to like display the model while I was looking at my paint colors. Oh, I got it. Let's bring our blue friend in here. Oh, that's weird. Let's see. Deathclaw Brown. Or Scrag Brown. Scrag Brown might be better. Or XY or XV88. If you had time, like a gray for the moon and then orange clay color rocks. Ooh. Gray for the moon. I do have time. I have 15 minutes. We can do this in 15 minutes. I really like that idea. So we're going to go Dawnstone for the moon gray. We got time. Gosh, my palette's almost full again. One more paint session and I'm going to have to fix out my palette. So Dawnstone is a really light color, so may have to do 2 coats of this. Yeah, unfortunately, I think my crackling paint is all dried out, so what I'm gonna do is like some very small rocks, like just spotted around. Like rather than putting rocks on the whole thing, I'm just gonna put like, I'll show you. Yeah, I have some crackling paint, and as a matter of fact, I've tried to do it on stream before, and it was super dried out and didn't work, and I have not seen it in stores since then. That was actually a really long time ago. I love crackling paint too. The problem is it can and does tend to dry out pretty quickly. Alright, I'm gonna let that dry real quick and grab some rockies, some little rocks. I'll do like a couple tiny pebbles and then like one like bigger rock. And then we can paint him that clay color to look like he's just dropped clay in front of him. Okay, I got my rockies. Yeah, so I've got this, which kind of looks like dried up clay, and then I've got some bigger rocks. I'm not going to use like the big ones, but while I let that dry, I can actually go ahead and pick them out. Tweezers is great for this, so let's see. It looks like little crumbled. The only thing that stinks about this is like we're all gonna look at it and go, "Oh, that's super cool." When I post pictures online, people are gonna be like, "Why is there like 2 little rocks on your base, man?" But that's all right. They missed their chance to understand by not being here. This is probably not a great moon color, but it's alright. I am going to do the rim still in black. I don't know why, I just really, really love black rimmed bases. I've just always... Which is funny because yesterday I stepped outside my comfort zone when I was painting my little miniature for myself. And I say for myself, but I was filming a promo for my new show that's coming out. But it was still for me, right? I didn't record it or do it on stream. And I stepped outside my comfort zone and actually painted the rim of the base tan. It was cool. Now, normally with rocks of this size, I would tell you to, my recommendation would be to use white glue, like white craft glue, and to make sure it dries thoroughly before you paint it. But we have just a few minutes, and so I am going to super glue it. Again, not something I recommend at all. Okay. The base doesn't look terrible. Looks pretty good. All right, so super glue. And the reason I'm using super glue is so that it dries immediately. And if this does not work, it's all Atomic's fault. Just make sure everybody knows who to blame. And then maybe I'll do like one bigger one over on the other side. I need my pliers. All right, so that's kind of how it looks right there. And then I'm going to do one bigger one right. That's way too much glue. Holy moly. Probably could put some on the back too, but hopefully it looks like that. Hopefully it looks like what I'm picturing in my head, what you guys suggested anyway. I really need to get a hairdryer. I do have some setting spray. Let me show you guys that. Army Painter calls it magic spray, and it really is magic. It's the super glue activator. I could spray this onto the miniature, and that glue would harden instantly. There's two problems with that. One, any excess glue that's not actually holding the miniature will turn white, and it will be extremely noticeable that it'll just be extremely noticeable. The second problem with that is that I don't know how it interacts with the paint that's already on the miniature, because I personally have never used it on a painted miniature. I've only used it on like to put miniatures together. I hate building miniatures. It's like literally, I wish that I could pay some, like, alternate, right? So I'll paint your miniatures if you build mine. I would totally make that swap any day of the week. All right, I've got just a minute. I gotta make these look like clay. So I'm gonna use this XV88. Looks like clay to me. It's like an orangey brown color. I'm actually going to put some Scrag Brown on my palette too, because I might like that better. Just looking to see which one I like. Clay is more orangey than it is brown, right? Trying very, very hard not to do what I just did, which is touch the super glue with my brush. That would be the end of my brush. Yeah, I just dislike building miniatures so much. Look at what we can do in 15 minutes, man. That's quick and dirty. I would probably do things slightly different if I had more time, but hopefully that looks like clay has fallen in front of him. And if it doesn't, it's all Atomic's fault, so. So that's it. That's the finished Finster there. So I will let this dry. I'll take pictures. Pictures will be up on my social media. I'm also going to start taking videos. So I have a really nice painting box where I can take some nice videos. Those will go up on my TikTok. So both my TikTok and my Facebook are at It's So Tiny, ITSSOTINY. You can find me on Facebook and on TikTok there. Make sure you go and follow. I will be doing giveaways and all that good stuff. Lots of good stuff coming to that channel. Tuesday tips. I'll have a tip out tomorrow, etc. You can also find me on Instagram at The Real, REAL, Daddy Louie, LOUIE, all one word. There'll be good stuff out there as well. Thank you, as always, to Renegade for having me on these streams. There's nowhere else I would rather be on this fine Monday night. Finster turned out great. I appreciate everybody that voted. You can find those votes. I post them a couple of days. I try and do a couple of days before the streams. You can find those on Renegade's Facebook pages. They have two. They have the Power Rangers Facebook group. They also have the Renegade Painters Facebook group. I post it in both places and on all my socials. You can vote as many times as you want on all the socials. If you really want something to be painted, that's where you go and vote. I appreciate everybody voting. We had lots of participation this time, and that's how Finster got picked. I think that's all the plugs I have. Next week, Tuesday, which is a week from tomorrow, the 19th of April, we will be painting a G.I. Joe for G.I. Joe month here, same time, same channel, just on Tuesday next week, the 19th. And then Monday the 25th, we'll be back here for Morphinominal Monday. I will have the poll and everything up for that as it gets a little closer. I think that's everything. Thank you for the birthday shout out. Yes, tomorrow is my birthday. Mwah, thank you. One more year and I'm over the hill. Boo. Anyway. Yeah, so I'll take some pictures and some videos. This will go out on the socials, and thank you for everybody that watched. Usually I say make sure you take care of yourself and others. That's usually like my go out line, right? Like I usually say that. Take care of yourself, take care of others, play your games, and paint your miniatures. That's usually what I say. And then I found out that Lester Holt, you know, the dude from Nightly News, he closes his show every time with take care of yourself and each other, which is similar to what I say. And I didn't mean for that to happen. So I might need to think of a new outro line. Anyway, take care of yourself, take care of others, play your games, paint your miniatures, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye. And I gotta click the actual finish button because my thing's not working.